Welcome back, everyone. Bottom of the hour now. We just had Thanksgiving break, but our longest break is yet to come for the December holidays. So how do we keep the kiddos off the gadgets during their break?
Oh, it's such a hard thing to do, but children's author and educational expert Melissa Williams is here to give us advice on how to limit tech distractions during the holidays. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning. Hey, Melissa.
All right, so can we really limit tech with kids? And I bet it depends on the age. It's easier for some than others.
And it does seem kind of like an uphill battle, but that is why we're here. We're here to help parents out, and it's all about limiting so that we can get back that parental control, because ultimately when you set those boundaries and those limits, we're just encouraging well-rounded, well-adjusted young mini adults for the future.
You know, Melissa, if some parents are listening to this going, well, my child just will not, there's just no way I can wean them off. What are some of the baby steps that parents can take right now, you know, in an effort to get their kids to put the gadget down?
Exactly, and it's all about communicating. I mean, that is going to be the first step, and communicating with the family why it's so important to be a well-rounded individual and bring them into that conversation. Talk to them about the national average, which is for 8 to 18-year-olds, 8 hours a day on technology.
Oh. So 8 hours.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage them to be leaders, not followers. It's easy to be a follower. So mirroring that behavior to the kids as well, setting our limits as adults too is going to be important.
Well, one thing that works well with my own daughter is I give her, you know, an hour of iPad time a day. I set the timer and she knows when it's up, and then it goes into another room. But for older kids who have their own devices, it must be really difficult to get them off of their devices.
It is difficult, but we do have different types of safeguards and monitors in place. So you can definitely, through your internet providers, the wireless routers, the cell phone carriers, you're able to set time limits or have internet shut down at a certain time.
I was just going to ask about that. Should you have rules? Because, you know, when it was just computers and the desktop, we often said make sure it's in the kitchen area so that you can keep an eye on what your child is doing. But now with the cell phones, you know, they have it right there in their pocket. So is it okay to say everybody's going to turn their cell phone right now and you'll get it back at the end of the day or maybe for a little while?
I know that there are parents that do that, but for the ones that have that struggle and that battle, which can be a fight in the household, getting into fighting technology with technology is kind of what we're doing here. And I do have some more tips on my website's blog to really help with those safeguards at melissamwilliamsauthor.com, because it's us getting ahead of the learning curve here. It takes time, but even learning what some of the software programs are that we can block certain sites, even with the TV, with Netflix. I mean, there's all types of things in the settings that will help you monitor and really block if it has a certain rating.
And just to encourage the kids to read more, if they want to do it on technology, there are some great story apps where they can still feel like they're using their technology,
and this is
but parents will feel good too about it.
That's great for the kids that you just can't get to read a book, let's say. If you use story apps like Epic, I've just heard about this one from a parent, and we have kids that won't be reading the hard copy books, but once they see it in an app form, unlimited access to some of the most popular books out there. It's a really great app to use called Epic.
Epic, okay.
Wow, that is great. Are there any other tips that we could give our parents this morning aside from just the apps? I mean, maybe having magazines so they can actually hold something out of
Yeah, I mean, magazines are great. I mean, you know, if I'm in the room, I'm always going to be talking about reading and writing, because even, you know, during the holidays, to read to kids, to have story time, regardless of their age. Kids love being read to. It's such a great bonding experience for the family. So bringing out those holiday books, those classics, and you know, talking about what it means to you know, back whenever you were a kid, to have these books in your life. So
it's a great time to create traditions.
Yeah, it is. And just get outside too. I mean, the weather's been great this month, so just encouraging family activities outside can.
Reading outside too.
Yeah, there we go.
The parks are beautiful parks. So.
All right, Melissa, thanks for coming by. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having me.
Yeah, good tips. Thank you.